Hello. This is on the Go radio station, powering the voice of community and change. And I am so fortunate to have one of our phenomenal hosts with us on today. You
Hello.
always kill me looking sweet and innocent when I say that. You are
Well,
such an imposter.
well, I have to appear sweet and innocent when we start, and then we get down to the nitty
So this is
gritty.
your tactic.
Well, yes, it's like when you have,
You pull
one
them
of
in.
pieces of candy that are hot, but you start out and it's real sweet, and then you're like, oh, this is really good. And you're like, ooh, that's hot.
Okay, I like
So
that.
kind of
I
like
like
that.
that.
Kind
I
of like
like
that.
that. That's
Yeah,
kind of true too.
it
That's
is.
exactly how
Yeah,
you are.
that's kind of how I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you put you into a school and let you stay there for a couple weeks. Ooh.
Ooh, right. And then
Kinda
people
hot.
like, ooh, who's this lady? What have y'all done? y'all,
Oh,
who y'all
I
putting
want my
up in
other
the school with the
organizer back.
right, right? Who y'all put up in the school with the babies? Lord Jesus, this lady is wild. Yeah.
Oh, Jadana. The fashion doctor, Jadana Dingus.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody. So I'm glad I'm glad to be back, talking to you all about fashion.
Because you
So
had your daughter had her prom and
hmm
graduation. And so I remember the
yes,
last show that we did, we were talking about just how some were just going all out. And we really want to position our kids, to be at their very best, no matter what's going on.
no matter what's going on. And yeah, we had prom, we had graduation. So great things are happening. Big things are happening for our young people. Big things are happening in the community, and I want to congratulate all the young people who are graduating.
Mm.
Our hats are off to you. You did it.
Hmm.
Congratulations! Congratulations also to all the moms and dads
That's right.
because you did it too.
That's right.
You chauffeured. You picked up. You cajoled. You went and set off
That's right.
dynamite to get people out of bed in the morning.
Hmm.
All those different things that you did to help these young people accomplish their goals. It's huge. So we want to say
Because now we got to take
congratulations.
them past that point,
And now we got to go to the next level.
And we really do, as you were talking before, we really have to help them be ready and be prepared for what's to come. And so
Right.
some people, when we did that other show, they were making comments and sending messages in saying, well, some of our kids never get a chance to get dressed up. This is the only time they'll be able to get dressed up and go somewhere. And you made a very strong point that we were talking about even before we came in the studio, that we have to give our kids somewhere to dress up and go besides just that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as our young people move through life, we always, it's not just prime where we have to up the ante. We have to up the ante every day and
Mm.
give them opportunities. We heard a lot from parents, a lot of people saying, well, we we think it's okay for parents to do an over the top send off
Hmm.
because many young people in our communities don't get the opportunity to go to anything formal. So that's why we feel that
Hmm.
it's important to go all out.
Hmm.
And I would tend to agree with that. Many of our young people do not get the opportunity to go to things that are formal
Hmm.
or to go to um, fancy places. And so I
Hmm.
say we start them out early, going to nice places.
What do you mean,
Um,
like starting them out early? Like, give some examples. You mean like tea parties, nice restaurants?
I think tea parties for your little girls, nice restaurants. As the when an opportunity arises for your son or daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. I had a couple years ago, someone reached out to me on Facebook and said that there was a young lady who was um, a participant with the Boys and Girls Club, and she had gotten an opportunity to go to the charity preview, the auto
Mm-hmm.
show charity
Mm-hmm.
preview, which is at Cobo Hall. It's a big deal. Black,
Mm-hmm.
red carpet, black tie. People are dressed, but her family did not have the means to purchase a dress for her.
Hmm.
And this person reached out and asked if I would be willing to donate something for this young lady. I said, absolutely, I'd be willing to donate something. I feel like when when a door opens for us, we have a
That's right.
responsibility to leave that door
That's right.
cracked and pull somebody else through the door. So I said, absolutely, no problem. I'd be happy to help this young lady out. So they brought her into the showroom, and after getting to talk to this young lady, she was about 12 years old. She didn't own a dress.
Wow.
I was floored.
Wow.
That this young lady did not own a dress, and I'm not talking about a gown. I mean a dress. She only owned pants, and I outfitted her from head to toe. It was cold, so she didn't have a dress coat because, again, she didn't own a dress. She didn't have dress gloves. She didn't have dress shoes. So I put together an entire ensemble for this young lady. Dress.
And how old was she again?
She was about 12 years
Wow.
old. A dress. We talked about the proper bra to wear with the dress. I did a little a dress coat. I did a little pair of gloves, and the smile on her face and the look of excitement, it just warmed my heart. And I didn't stop there. I ended up giving her an entire wardrobe, and it was something that I felt was important to do. Again, I've been so blessed, and so many people have helped me, and so many people have been in my corner. I felt like it was important for me to do this for this young lady. And so as our children go through growing up, I feel like it's important for us to do that as parents. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Now, I'm not talking about people going in, running up a charge card, going into debt.
Which we've seen a lot of people do.
Which we see
there's a more effective way to be ready.
But yeah,
especially because I mean, truthfully, like Dingus, a lot of our listeners, they're working folks. They have kids. They have responsibilities. They're just not single where they can go out, pay bills, and spend their checks on themselves. They have to be mindful of other things. So that's why I love your show, The Fashion Doctor, on this station, because you give real life practical ways that people can accomplish these goals.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think that, of course, I would love for people to come shop with me at Margot and Max.
And which is located?
Which is located at 561.
We can do as many commercials as we want to because this is your show.
Right. At 561 Livernois in Ferndale. We're between 8 and 9 Mile. So Margot and Max carries previously loved, which is a nice way of saying used.
But you would never know because
yeah.
I remember my first time coming into your shop. I thought everything was new. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I thank you.
And I was working up on that discount.
Yeah, she was working on. Oh, don't even get me started about the discount, the earrings, and that's a whole nother show. We'll have to talk about people wanting to get the hookup from your businesses one day.
I was willing to barter and trade, though.
She was.
Don't think bad of me. I did offer some services.
She always look. I got here tonight and I had been working all day, and I came in and Yolanda fed me. She pulled up a chair. Here, take a nap. Here's a blanket. She gave me her special blanket. So so please don't think that she isn't a person who deserves it. She deserves a hookup and so much more.
Every now and then.
Every day, all the stuff that she does. But so I'm just very particular about what I bring into the shop. Everything is curated. I go, everything. I make sure that nothing has a stain, tear, hole, a funny smell. None of that. We are just very, very particular about our merchandise, so that when you walk in the door, nothing about our shop says that it's a resale
with Mr. Durrell.
Especially with Mr. Daryl Dingus, because
that's a whole
Mr. Daryl Dingus is not playing. So it doesn't smell funny. It doesn't look funny. And it's a huge compliment when people come in and they are surprised that our things are previously loved. But it doesn't have to be Margot and Max. So maybe if you're looking for something for your daughter or son, and maybe your daughter or son is 10 or 12 years old, or maybe they're a preteen or a teenager, you can try places like Regenerations.
Very good.
There's one in Clawson. There's one in Pleasant Ridge. You could try places like Plato's Closet.
That's good.
And they're all around to find nice pieces for your young people to wear so that they have something appropriate for the events that they're attending, and you are not running out having to buy something. I've never understood when someone passes away and people are scrambling trying to put something together for a funeral. I've never understood that. Because I feel like every young man should have a pair of black pants in his closet, a white shirt, and a tie.
And it's kind of obvious that some weren't ready and didn't have anything ready for a funeral because of what they come to a funeral in. And I know that things have gotten very lax. There was a time that you would not even wear colors to a funeral because
Right.
the family would take it offensively as you're celebrating or in this joyful and they're mourning. But I do want to kind of talk a little bit, as you had mentioned earlier when we were having our conversation, that there are some signature things just in case something comes up like a funeral. You said that every boy should have this and girls should have that. And we realized we talked about kids growing up
Yes.
and getting big so you don't spend a whole lot of money
Exactly.
because they're not going to be able to wear it forever, but they should at least have at least one or two items of what?
Uh, there should be some standard things that folks have in their closets. Like I said, a young man should have a pair of dark slacks, black or navy, a white shirt, and a tie. And those are things that you can pick up at the Salvation Army. You can
You
pick up
can.
at Value World.
You can put it on the Christmas
Um,
list and birthday list.
right.
We asking for all these electronics and all of this other stuff, but when these kids get called in for a job interview, or like in my case, what if I'm going to something dressy and my kids need to come with me? I think it's a shame on the parent for you to look glamorous and wonderful and your kids look like banshees.
Yeah, I agree.
And we see it
I
all
agree.
the time
We
because
do.
you make the investment in yourself, not selfishly. I think a lot of parents do it because they're like, well, I need work clothes. I got that. But your kids need to also be able to have presentable clothes. If for some reason you got to take them with you.
Exactly. And there are places that, again, we take our children. If I'm going to a function for work, when my daughter, India, hey Ladybug, when she was little, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I took her everywhere with me. If I was going to a community, there were a lot of community meetings that I attended. I remember we had a meeting at the city county building about they wanted to open a gun shop near our house, and I was
I
like,
thought
oh
you were
no.
going to say put it on the ballot.
No. That's a whole nother
She
conversation.
was there too.
Yeah. Oh, I was there for put it on the ballot. Trust
And so
me.
was
and
India.
baby girl was there too. Yeah, she was like, my mom. Yeah. But anyway, that's another show too.
It is.
That's a
There's
whole.
so
We could do
many
a whole.
shows.
Yeah,
I
there's so
know.
many shows.
You still got your shirt.
I have my shirt and I wear it, and people stop me and ask me, what is pulling on the ballot? I'm like, I have to tell them, you're not really grown enough to hear that story, ma'am. I know you're 65, but yeah, you're not ready for that. But I took her everywhere, and I remember having, we were sitting in a meeting at the city county building, and my daughter was sitting there coloring, and this gentleman came up and said, she's such a good child. She's so quiet. And I said, she's used to coming to these meetings. I take her everywhere with me. So, or maybe you had a sitter lined up, and maybe the sitter fell through.
And it can happen.
And it happened.
And
to
you
one
still
of my
got to get to
clients
work.
today.
And you still got to get to
trying
work.
to figure out what you're going to do, or you want to take your children to these events so that they can be exposed to things.
That's right.
You want to take your children to nicer restaurants, something nicer than McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with McDonald's if that's where you like to go. But you want to take them somewhere nicer so that they become used to going to nice places. So
That's
that
right.
If they go to a restaurant and there's more than one spoon on the table, or more than one fork,
They won't be intimidated.
They won't be intimidated. They'll know which fork to use. They know which glasses if you're at an event and the table is set.
But isn't some of this, because these are things that you know, but there's a lot of parents who may not know, well, I can't pay for an etiquette class. And I just want to, again, so people have real life applicable tools that they can use to get to these points and these places in this conversation. Would you suggest that, because I know they sell the silverware and the plates and all of that stuff, again, even if you have to get it from the resale store,
Sure.
and it's not all matching, because some people just eat off of paper plates. It's a lot of things we don't say, but people do when they're at home, and you wouldn't know it because people don't wear their lifestyles on them. Because you see them in a suit, you think everything is cool. But my point in bringing that up, couldn't they even pull up a YouTube video how to set a table? What would you suggest to them?
There are so many tools. Now, me personally, when I'm a little bit older than some of our viewers, but we had etiquette classes. It was part of school.
We did too.
Yeah, we had it was.
We had
part
a
of
Christian
school.
charm course. Even our church, we had did through our church, and it wasn't just good enough that we know how to eat. It was also that we knew how to be a lady.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's a big piece of what's missing. Like some of the conversations that you have being a fashion doctor, and you talk about the etiquette and the social interactions, a lot of folks are like hearing some of this for the first time because this is not like opportunities or access to things like this that they have in their communities.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we were taught. It started with how to answer the phone.
Ooh, remember that
Remember
at
that?
home?
Yes, if there
And
was a
you
little,
had to learn how to answer the
you had to
phone
learn
right
how
or
to
don't
answer the
touch it.
phone. Yeah. Oh,
Remember they say
yeah.
don't answer that phone?
Don't touch that phone.
Or the parents would get the phone and be like, who was that who answered the phone?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
we,
I forgot
but
about
it was
that.
part of school. So there was
Wow.
a little, and that was back when foreign phones were corded and they were plugged in, and you heard the ring
And the
ring.
ones that
Right.
run,
Yes, and the
you
rotary
wrote it
phone.
down. Yeah.
And not everybody has their own phone, so it's a little bit different. But
Is it?
um, well, that people aren't.
But is
As,
it?
we still need to have
You
manners.
know
That
why?
that
But
doesn't go
why
away.
is, I mean,
It's a little bit
because
different.
when they get past being middle school, high school, they can't answer the phone just any kind of way once they're out of high
Right.
school and they got potential employers calling.
Potential
So it's
employer.
etiquette they need to know
Exactly.
no matter what.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that the etiquette is
You
irrelevant.
say it's different.
I'm saying it's just different. But I think that it's important. Those all the things that we learned still apply. They certainly still apply.
Very good.
We had a little book. You had to fill it out because
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
And it was the book was put out by Michigan Bell. Remember that?
Michigan Bell.
Yeah, back in the day, my bell. My mother said, "Go
Yeah.
down and pay my bell." She would just say my bell. But we had to in our home, we had to answer the phone. Matthew's residence. It wasn't hello, who this? My
We
parents,
sure
my mother,
did.
she
And
would
my
say,
dad
we had
done
to
made
say,
sure we could answer it, or they said don't touch
"Don't
that
touch the
phone.
phone."
Because it was an embarrassment to the family.
Absolutely. You didn't. Yeah,
Hi,
to
Brooks
pick up a
residence.
phone.
I
Yeah,
remember saying, I forgot about
we would say
that.
Matthew's residence, and if we did not answer the phone properly, my mother would be livid.
Because it's an
And
embarrassment.
it's an embarrassment. Who's raising you?
Yeah.
That's
People
what
would
people
say
say.
that too.
Oh, they would say it
They'd be like,
directly
who
to
answers
you.
that phone?
Who answers
Was
the
that one of your
phone?
kids?
Right.
Wow.
Right. Who was that? They must be visiting. That must be a cousin. 'Cause I know your kids are not answering the phone like that. And you wouldn't dare not give your parents a message. If someone called, you wouldn't dare. You write it down with anything, a lipstick, eyebrow pencil. It
No,
didn't
you
matter.
know where they
You
wrote it down? On the kitchen wall
Now, see,
by the phone.
now, so we didn't.
Old
we didn't
people
do
did that.
Yeah, my mother would have a little notepad, but if you couldn't find it, you better write it on an envelope or something. But
Yeah, we didn't write on our wall, but I remember people
oh
putting
yeah,
those notes
I have aunts
behind the
who
refrigerator.
had, yeah, the notes. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
But we had to answer the phone properly. So that teaching your children all of those things you that we learned, but maybe you didn't learn. Maybe you didn't learn some of those things, but maybe your mother did, or your father did. So passing some of those things down to our young people so that they know and understand how to, behave out in the world. When they go out somewhere. So back to the dress, how to dress properly. So we were talking about funerals. I have gone to some funerals lately, and I've been appalled in the last few years. Jeans, t-shirts, sneakers, gym shoes, as a lot, as my people call them. I love my people, gym shoes. But the people aren't going to the gym. You're not going to the gym. They're athletic shoes, but you're not going to the gym, so they're not gym shoes.
You
they're
ain't,
athletic shoes.
hold on, and we know you ain't been to the
And
gym.
we know you haven't been.
You
to the
know
gym.
why?
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't been to no, because they
You ain't even going to the gym.
Flat line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would flat line. I'm not gonna, just trying to walk around the track. They'd be like, "Is that lady? Is she passed out?" Yeah, you passed out. Y'all come with the tires for 200. Yeah, the paddles, but wearing people don't own real shoes. So if all your daughter has is a cute pair of pink high tops, that's problematic. If she is invited to go to sing with her choir at school at the DIA for the mayor's anniversary party, whatever it is, and everybody's wearing black and white, and your daughter only owns a pair of pink sneakers, or your son only owns a pair of Jordans, and so that's why it's so important for our young people to have a pair of dress shoes.
And I know from raising multiple ages at the same time, you can't wait until the event come up to try to go get it.
You won't be able to find it.
I mean, and that's where I was going with this. You gotta, I mean, what if your kids are being honored for something that they did at school, and they're gonna be the ones doing the presentation or speaking in front of everybody? It always comes when you don't have the money. So you gotta have this stuff put up already so your kids don't miss opportunities, and not just their kids, but I would say the adults. Some people have been asking for a good job and want the job, but they don't even have anything to interview in. And then when the opportunity come up, say you bump into somebody and say, "Come and see me tomorrow."
Right. And then
and
you're
you
like,
have
uh-oh.
nothing.
Right, you're
You're
scrambling.
borrowing clothes.
Right. Exactly. Because you cannot find dress shoes at CVS or at Rite Aid. You can find dress shoes at Target. But it's really important. Even again, then you can find a pair of nice dress
Hmm.
shoes for a man, or nice
Hmm.
dress shoes for a young lady, or for your children. At again, you can always come to Margot and Max. You're always welcome.
Hmm.
If your budget won't allow you to go to Margot and Max, hit the Salvation Army,
That's right.
hit Value World.
That's
You can
right.
find some great things in there. Bring them home, wash them, press them,
That's right.
and all of that. Nobody, no one will be none the wiser.
That's
Nobody will have
right.
any idea. I grew up in a very large family, as you know, yo.
Yeah.
I have 6 brothers. I'm the only girl, and my parents didn't have a lot of money when we were growing up.
Hmm.
My dad worked at GM. We used to say we were poor but proud, and but my father was a Marine, and he was very very proud. He made sure that
Wow.
that we were tight. Everybody's shoes were polished, from the smallest to the to the tallest, and everybody was together. And my parents did that on a shoestring, and many times it was going to the Goodwill, going to Salvation Army. Back then, Value World wasn't Value World; it was Purple Heart. Remember Purple
I
Heart?
forgot about that.
Yeah, it was Purple Heart. Um, and that's what they did. So if I had and anything came up that we had to go anywhere, I never ever. I don't know if I ever told you the story. Never got an Easter outfit. Never,
Why? Because you already had stuff.
because I already had stuff. Never. My
Isn't that
parents never
something?
bought Easter clothes, and I would be sharp, like sugar sharp. People had no idea that I'm shopping in my closet. Why I was always able to, from an early age, put outfits together. I would take,
I remember.
I would take those, take and mix and match. But my parents never bought Easter clothes
Wow.
because they're like, they never got it. Why do people run out and spend their hard money on, you paying $40 for a dress for a kid to wear once?
Remember
I'm trying to
Robert
understand
Hawes?
that. Yep. My parents didn't do it.
Wow.
They wouldn't run the Federals. They wouldn't run the Wars. They wouldn't run the Hudsons because they had already bought those things, and it was just a matter of you shopping in your own closet, mixing and matching. I mean, not even a pair of shoes, unless I had a couple tight incidents where there was a fatality with my tights. A hole in the.
There were
They were
fatalities.
oh girl, there were more.
All
than
you had to do is
two.
brush up against
All
something
you
the
had to
wrong
do-
way
then we
and
just
put that
pull,
hole in
yeah,
it.
and then you looking
You
at
ever
that
see
little
that hole get
snag.
bigger and
Oh,
then
girl,
it
yeah,
separates the
girl, you
pantyhose
just pulling that snag, and then the
where you got
whole thing
it
unravels.
cuts.
Yeah, you just
Like it
sitting there,
separates.
yeah, your whole knee is out like you've been in Vietnam, girl. It was just horrible. But
You know
we
it's hard to find tights now?
tights are hard to find. They were India's just turned 18. They were hard to find when she was little.
They're hard
So
to find.
yeah, but you have the benefit of buying things online. As far as tights, now, I'm not a big online shopper because I
I'm
feel
not
like
either. I like to
online
touch
is.
my stuff.
I want not only do I want to touch the stuff, I want to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
I want to be
I'm
able
the
to
same
interact
way.
with people. I want to go in and you hear the ding ding or the
Right.
doorbell or at Margot
Or
Max
the
we have
bell.
old school bells on the door,
Yeah.
jingle jingle. When people walk through, I want to smell the smells. And I want to smell good smells.
That's right.
But I want to be able to touch everything and
That's
interact
right.
with my salesperson. Online shopping has been the you read about JCPenney's closing stores, Macy's closing stores, all these retailers are closing stores because people are shopping more online, and I think it's very unfortunate. And as someone who owns a retail store, you know that
That's right.
I'm anti shopping online.
That's right.
But sometimes there are things that you can't find anywhere else, and I totally get that. But I can't condone buying everything online. But tights are tough to find.
Wow.
They are tough. They're getting harder and harder to
And
find.
bobby socks.
Bobby socks are hard to find too. But there are a couple places where you can find.
Yeah.
There's is it just for kids over on
FKO.
no, over on
In Oak Park.
Coolidge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over on Coolidge.
I got some of
Yep.
my best suits for my kids
Yep.
there.
Yeah. Yep. They
It's
say I have
FKO for kids only.
Yeah, for kids
I
only.
remember,
yes.
and that's where I would get the boys' suits at, and
Yeah.
some of the girls' dresses as well. Are they still open?
They're still open.
Wow,
Yep.
and this on 9 in Coolidge?
9 and Coolidge.
Right.
Yep.
Is that Green?
No, it's Coolidge.
It's Coolidge, 9 in
Mhm,
Coolidge. And so for those that's local, it's a really, really good place to get. I mean, they have like a section that's really trendy, but they have just regular suits,
Classic stuff.
things that they can wear from year to year
Yes.
without it being so dated, and also that you can pass down from one kid to the other. So if you make an investment in the suit there, it's gonna last you some time, and you're gonna get your money's worth.
Right. And that's
And
an
they
important
had
piece.
layaway back in the day too. I don't know if they
Yeah,
still
I
have
don't know if
that,
they still
but that's how I
do.
was able to put up multiple suits at the same time for
Yeah.
the kids, was because they had layaway.
Yeah, remember that having layaway. Your mother would put the stuff in layaway. You'd be like, I want to see my
You
stuff.
can't
I'm gonna
even
wear
wear
that.
it no
You
more.
can't. Yeah, girl, you get it, and you'd be like, oh, I forgot about this. It was like
You know,
new again.
yeah,
All
because you just saw it again for the
right,
first time
right.
and
You just,
fell in
right.
love
You
with it
just, right.
again.
Yeah.
Now,
You'd be so
what
excited
would
about
jack
it.
us up is if things were trending and changing fast, and then by the time it came out the level, it'd be like, oh, dude, don't nobody even wear that
Right,
no
right.
more. You all played out. You all old. Nobody dress with that no
Nobody's
more.
wearing that anymore, right?
And so
Well,
even when you talk about that, fashion doctor Jadana,
yeah.
I remember you talking about, this is really important to you because you want people to feel good in their clothes no matter what their size.
Right. I think that that's really important. We get so caught up in what size garments are. What size do I wear? Sometimes ladies come in and they'll into Margot and Max, and they'll tell me that I wear size 8, and I'm looking at them because I've been in retail for more than 30 years. More years than I care to count, more employers, some
Hmm.
places that I really didn't,
Hmm.
enjoy working. That's another show too. Uh, but but I took away something from all of those places. I
Hmm.
learned something about myself and
Hmm.
how to do what I'm doing now. So it benefited me, of course, to work for these different employers. But um, I can kind of size people up when they come in. I usually can get an idea about what size they wear, and why waste time trying on a bunch of stuff that doesn't fit?
Hmm.
By saying, "Oh, I think I'm a size 8," when you really are a size
Mm.
12, or
And you're not
saying,
gonna be comfortable.
and you aren't going to be comfortable. And we're going to spend a lot of time trying to get you
Hmm.
into stuff that doesn't fit. So the key is to look neat, to feel comfortable
Hmm.
in what you're wearing, no matter what size.
That's
And
good.
you can look good at every size because are nice clothes in every size. There are nice clothes for people who wear 00, and there are nice clothes for people who wear 3X,
Mm-hmm.
and every size in between. So the key is to find something that fits you and is comfortable for you. There's sizes for ladies and gentlemen who are more, ladies who are more petite, gentlemen who are more short, people who are tall,
But
or who are
even when
heavy
you,
and thin.
but even when you say that, Jadana, some people say, well, you know what? I don't have anything to wear, so I'm just not going to leave the house, or I'm not going to go anywhere. And so, what do you say to people who have made a decision not to go anywhere because they don't have the right clothes or the clothes they want? There has to be
Right.
something.
Well, I hear that all the time. Well, a lady will try on a dress and love it and say, but I don't have anywhere to wear this. So I say, why not find some place to wear it? Um, there's always a birthday party. There's always some type of event going on where you can wear a nice dress, where a gentleman can wear a nice suit, and where you can wear a nice outfit.
Hmm.
You have to make a conscious decision to go out and do those things because, again, our children are looking up to us. We're the role models. And so if you don't ever go anywhere and you're just sitting on Facebook all day,
That's right.
that's what your kids are going to want to do too. And then when their friends are graduating and having graduation parties and you have a child who doesn't want to go anywhere,
That's right.
a big part of it is because they don't see you socializing either.
Hmm.
And so I think it's important for us to get out and do things. There's so many things happening in the city, like right now, River Days
That's
is
right.
going
I
on.
forgot about that.
Yeah, take your kids downtown and have some fun. It's hot. Go down on the waterfront, get a little breeze going on. Hang out with your family and enjoy yourselves. Put on your cute sundresses,
That's right.
ladies. Put the cute sundresses and little sandals on your daughters. Have your sons put on their nice little t-shirts and jeans. That's when you wear your t-shirts and jeans and your gym shoes, folks. You're going down to River Days. And go hang out with your family and go do things and socialize because there's so many fun things to do right now. There's a million different things going on, and we just have to get out and enjoy life. Because there are lots of times when we can't get out because we're working. Some
Mm-hmm.
of our viewers are working two or three
That's right.
jobs to try
That's
to make
right.
ends meet. So the times that you do have an opportunity to enjoy yourself, it's really important to do so,
Hmm.
because we do work so hard to try to just doing our day to day stuff. Sometimes I think we forget to stop and take a beat and enjoy ourselves.
And I think you mentioned something earlier before we end. I want to make sure we get that out. Just like you want to feel good in your clothes, even though you might not be the size that you want, I realize that it's got warm and people are not ready for this warmth because it
Yes,
means that they have to transition
yes,
back into possibly clothes that they have that's not the best fit for them right now. But you want to also be mindful to put your kids in clothes that fit them too. A lot of bullying and stress for a lot of kids is built around the fact that their clothes don't fit anymore.
right,
And they don't say anything, but you really kind of set them up not to get something that's more tailored to their size. You can't put your little girls in shorts they wore 2 years ago and now they're starting to fill out and you want them to wear those same shorts.
right.
Sometimes you have to make the investment to keep your kids safe and also position them in the best way where their clothes complement them.
Yeah, it's really important, especially for young people as they begin to go through puberty and as they're growing, to make sure that
Hmm.
they have clothes that are the appropriate size, the appropriate
Hmm.
fit, um, and part of that, again, is looking at what you want them to have, things that are in style, as much as you can afford to keep them in style, but
Hmm.
also things that are appropriate for their age.
Hmm.
And sometimes that again, it involves taking a trip to
That's
you
right.
know
That's
to one
right.
of those places we talked about, to a Value World, or to a Salvation Army, or to,
Hmm.
again, to a Margot and Max, to a Regenerations, to a
And they
Playboy
have the moms
Closet.
to mom sales
They
too.
have mom sales. There are lots of places where you can find great clothing for your children. And even if let's talk about quickly, if you don't have a washer. I mean, back in the day,
Wow, that's true. I
back in
didn't
the
think
day, we
about
washed
that.
stuff in the sink.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
If the washer broke, as my mother would say, you gonna wash that on your hands. And we would, we wash it out and wring it out in the sink and hang it up. Again, it's hot, so things would dry very quickly.
And I've learned over the years having multiple children, sometimes my kids had outgrown clothes that somebody else's kids were waiting for.
Yes.
And so what we would do is swap back and
Yep.
forth. Like when I knew they were done and I didn't have any under that age anymore, her kids would catch them.
Yep.
And then she had another kid where I could get the bigger clothes from. So you figure it out how to not go broke, but to transition clothes while they're moving from one age to the other. But I
Yes.
can't impress enough how many fights and issues around bullying that I've encountered working with parents in school because their kids were in school clothes or in clothes that's just way too tight or small for them.
Yes, it's really important. It's really important also to help to keep the young people's self-esteem intact.
Hmm.
We want our young people to get a good education. We want them to be safe, and part of that is attire.
Hmm.
Part of that is their attire. We don't want them to become targets of bullies. We don't want our young people to become our young ladies to become targets, or
Hmm.
young men to become targets of predators because they're
Hmm.
wearing clothing that's too tight. It's never okay for someone to approach a young person and to say anything inappropriate to them. Young people
Hmm.
never um, want this, unwanted attention,
Hmm.
and it's never the young person's fault. We want to make sure that we're
That's right.
setting them up for success always and not
That's
failure.
right. Wow. Well, this is always so exciting. Uh, I knew that you had the cut in you for the fashion doctor, and I hope that people were listening to this, Jadonna, because it's just really good, helpful information. Because sometimes we forget our kids want to feel good about themselves as well.
I think it's really important. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to look good, from, like I said, from the smallest to the tallest.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to just try to do what we can as parents, what we can in our budgets, what we can in our spirits, to ensure that our young people do feel good and that they look good. And we want that for ourselves as well. So it starts with us, and then we pass that down to our children.
Wow, and using your resources and relationships wisely, because sometimes that can play off for you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Making sure that if we get an opportunity, that we don't pass it up, because it may feel a little uncomfortable at that moment
Hmm.
because we don't have the right clothes.
Mm.
But starting to build every opportunity that you get to try to build your wardrobe a little bit and build your toolbox to be able to go out into this world and be able to make it and cope. We need to do that, and we definitely owe it to our children to help them learn how to do that as well.
Well, I know I've learned a lot from you over the years, specifically how to cool up a uniform.
You talking
I'll
about that
never
all the time.
forget.
It's so
I
hilarious.
will never forget. I was like, where'd she get that from? How did she find that color? How did she match that jacket with that? And so I've gained so much information from you, but
Thank you.
more importantly, I have a high amount of respect for you, the way that you tell the truth to people, even when they don't want to hear it. And the truth of the matter is, your clothes may not be the clothes that you want, but you need them to fit appropriately
Absolutely.
when you leave out of the house, so you can position yourself for something so much more than just what's in front of you. I know this is like going to really help some people. Jadana, again, the fashion doctor,
Well,
fashion
that's our
MD.
goal.
That's
That's our
it.
goal to
Make them
help
feel
people,
better.
to make people feel better.
Hmm.
We can do this.
Yeah,
We can do this. Yep.
I do
Absolutely.
believe that. It was so good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
Yeah,
good to have you
I
back.
miss being here. So
Yeah,
thank
she's
you.
one. But you know, people, this is that time of the year between graduations, proms, and
Yep. Very
prepping
busy.
kids to move on. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do
Got to do.
because that's your
We
priority.
just, as parents, we're
Yeah,
professional jugglers. We're trying to keep all the balls in the air. We know we have a
that's
lot
your
going on. We're
priority.
chauffeuring, juggling, and loving on our babies, especially at this time of the year, and getting ready for
That's
some of
right.
them
That's
to
right.
leave the nest. So yeah, we got to
Mm,
get the big old box of Kleenex out.
that's right.
There's gonna be some tears.
Yeah. I'm just again, this is really helpful for a lot of people who don't have somebody around them to tell them the truth. Like some of us have somebody say, "Now you know they don't look good on you. That might look good on me, but it don't
Right.
look good on you." And so, just to get to that point where you can really be a benefit to folks, so just want to thank everybody again in support of this radio station, On the Go Radio, powering the voice of community and change. This is your host, Jadana Dingus, the Fashion MD.
Thank you.
The
Thanks for
Fashion
listening,
MD, yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
Yes, have a great day.